strong.
Welcome back to Crypto for Freedom, where we talk about gaining financial freedom through the cryptocurrency markets. Today, we're going to be talking about Dogecoin, Bitcoin, the Doge Bitcoin pair 7-year cycle theory. Make sure to stick around to the end of the video to find out my price prediction for Dogecoin this cycle. Let's take a look at Dogecoin on the daily chart. You can see that Dogecoin is still in this ascending parallel channel, making higher highs and higher lows on the daily chart. And if we zoom into the 4-hour chart, we can see that Dogecoin had a pretty nasty dump yesterday of almost 11%, and then rebounded today back up about 6.5% or so. But if you zoom out on the monthly chart, you can see that Dogecoin has actually been going sideways for 1,706 days. That's a really long time to go sideways, you guys. And because of that, I'm not really worried about the intraday volatility, the 10% drops, the 8% pumps. Not really worried about that. I'm more of a macro investor trying to get rich in crypto over the long term, trying to gain financial freedom for my family in these cryptocurrency markets through Bitcoin and Dogecoin cryptocurrency assets. Now, let's go over to Bitcoin on the monthly chart. We're still in a bull run, making higher lows and higher highs, as you can see by this rising wedge. Although traditionally rising wedges are a bearish pattern, I could see Bitcoin actually breaking out of this to the upside to come out and complete this 4-year cycle, blow off top, and then that kind of being a fake out and then break into the downside. And, if we do see this blow off top, that's when we're going to see Bitcoin dominance break through this uptrend, come back down to 49%, and possibly even break back down into this other range, down to 39%. And that's where we could see some of the most parabolic gains for Dogecoin and the rest of the altcoin market this cycle. Now, we still haven't seen a altcoin season. We still haven't seen a blow off top for Bitcoin. It's been more of an institutionally driven bull market for Bitcoin. And with that, the game has changed a little bit, but I just still do believe in Dogecoin in the medium to short term. And I obviously still believe in Dogecoin for the long term, because Dogecoin has consistently made a new high in each one of its bull markets. Over here when it dropped in 2014, then again in 2017, again in 2021. And I really have no reason to believe that Dogecoin is not going to come up and make a new high here at the end of 2025 to see a blow off top. Now, stick around to the end of the video to find out how high I think Dogecoin is going to go. Now, I want to take a look over at the 7-year cycle theory. Now, jumping over to the Doge Bitcoin chart, we're going to talk about the 7-year cycle theory, how Dogecoin has been consistently making lower highs and lower lows since 2021, when Dogecoin broke out of its initial channel from its initial 7 years that it had a downtrend against Bitcoin before breaking out in 2021. We're going to take a look at the Dogecoin price back here in March of 2017 and how that corresponded with this higher low on the Doge Bitcoin chart. After that, Dogecoin USD dropped and then came up and found a higher high at the red dotted line. And from there, Dogecoin Bitcoin pair came up and found another lower high. From there, Dogecoin USD went into its bear market for 915 days. And in that time, that's when Dogecoin lost a ton of value against Bitcoin, all the way until the 2021 cycle, when Dogecoin was able to break out against its Bitcoin pair and form this new channel. Ever since 2021 now, Dogecoin has been making lower highs consistently against its Bitcoin pair here, and then again over here in October of 2024. And that's where we see our first peak for Dogecoin. That corresponded with this peak down back here, right in the middle at the yellow bar, right in the middle of the 7-year cycle. Are we going to end up seeing Dogecoin come up by the green line and see a blow off top for Dogecoin USD, and then see the Dogecoin Bitcoin pair come up and make another lower high? I think that's completely likely and possible that the most parabolic part of the cycle is going to be happening. Are you guys ready? Are your bags packed? Leave your comments down below if your bags are packed and you're ready for this final blow off top for the cycle. We're getting very close to this green line. And if we take a date range tool, you can see that we're literally 31 days from this green line. And I just wanted to point out that from the yellow line to the green line in the 2017 cycle, Dogecoin was at a higher price, but it was at a lower valuation against Bitcoin. At the yellow line, Dogecoin was here. At the green line, Dogecoin was quite a bit higher. Okay, and that time frame took 455 days, and this one was 457 days. In my opinion, the price of Dogecoin when it gets to this green line should be higher than where it was when it was at the yellow line, considering that's how it was in the last 2 cycles, dating back to 2021, and again dating back to the 2017 cycle, where the price was higher at the green line than it was at the yellow line. Now, do you guys think we're going to see a blow off top coming for Dogecoin this cycle, where Dogecoin is going to come up and make a higher high past 74 cents, which was its previous high in 2021? Or is this going to be the end for Dogecoin and we're going to see a 90% retracement from the most recent local high of 48 cents down to 6 cents? Or are we just going to go sideways into our accumulation zone while we get ready to have the next bull run in 2028, 2029? And that's when we finally see Dogecoin come up and have a breakout moment and explode to the upside. And on the Doge Bitcoin chart, Dogecoin is going to continue to make lower highs against Bitcoin until 2028. And that's when it'll finally break out into a new channel as we see Dogecoin go on a parabolic run, possibly all the way to anywhere from $12 to $24. Okay. But this cycle, I think we could still see Dogecoin come up and have a massive gain, considering that in April of 2017, we saw a 5,000% gain once we broke out of this downtrend. In December of 2020, we saw a 13,000% gain once we broke out of this downtrend. So why couldn't we see another 8,000% gain once we break out of this downtrend and see Dogecoin come all the way up to $14 this cycle? You know, anything's possible. Is it likely? It might not be likely, but depending if the Fed cuts rates to 0, and if we see stimulus checks from Trump, maybe we will end up seeing a massive gain for Dogecoin and Bitcoin for the final blow off top of this cycle before we head into the next bear market and see a 90% retracement. What would be a 90% retracement from $14? From $14, a 90% retracement would be $1.40. So that could put our next accumulation range up here at $1.40, which makes sense because the bear market low in 2022 was 218% above the previous all-time high. And if we are 218% above the previous all-time high, that would bring, the low down to $1.78. So I don't know. Anything's possible, you guys, but just remember, none of this is financial advice. You always want to do your own research. Leave all your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel if you guys enjoyed the content, and check out all my other videos in the playlist below. And with that, we'll see you on the next video. Peace.